Exactly 1 month ago, I started this wallet with zero point 0.1 Solana, and I was able to build a portfolio of 93 Solana. And now how did I do this? Meme coin trading isn't just luck and putting your money into things and hoping that it goes up. Meme coin trading is calculated. You have to know what to look for and what trades to take. And now trading with a small portfolio can make this almost 10 times harder, but in today's video, I'm gonna be showing you the correct settings, filters, and strategies so that you guys can start with a small portfolio. Now remember, these aren't the same strategies as a month or two ago. Currently, meme coins are always changing, and these are some of the most up-to-date strategies in the game. So you're gonna make sure you wanna watch the whole video, and let's get right into it. Now first off, what do I use to trade? Currently I'm using Axiom Pro, as you guys can see on my computer. And now when signing up, you guys can use the link down below, and you actually get a big cash back on every single trade you take using that link down below. This is super important because I've been able to make over 150 Solana just with the rakebacks on Axiom. It's super important you guys use that link down below because these rakebacks can actually build up and help you out a lot in the long run when you have a small portfolio. So there's a bunch of cool features on Axiom Pro that I'm gonna be showing you later in the video that will help you become a profitable trader. So let me just show you guys how to make an account real quick. First off, you press that link like we said, and it's gonna bring you up to the sign up screen. You're either gonna wanna enter an email and make sure you use the invite code payout. And for this example, I'm just gonna be connecting with Phantom. And when you're connecting with Phantom, you wanna make sure that you have the wallet that you connect in your hands at all times. This will be the wallet that will give you access to your Axiom Pro account, and it just makes it much easier and safer for you to actually trade using them. So as you guys can see, we just connect our account like this. Make sure that we use the link down below, and we just press confirm. It's gonna say all these things here, and we're just gonna basically accept all the warnings that it gives us. Now this may take a bit because Axiom Pro has to make a whole entire new account for you, so it may take a couple of seconds, just be patient, and boom, authenticated. So we have a brand new account. Now you're gonna be given this recovery key. Listen closely, you guys do not want to screenshot or take a photo with your phone of this recovery key. So when you press reveal my key, it will show you a very important code. What I want you guys to do is grab a little notebook, grab a pencil, and write down this code. Now you're gonna rip this page out of your notebook and hide it somewhere where no one else is gonna find it. Obviously, just make sure you guys know where the code is at, because basically this is the only way that you're gonna be able to get access to your Axiom Pro account. So now you've saved the code, you're gonna wanna press X, and then it's gonna give you your Solana wallet for your main account. From this, you're just gonna deposit Solana into this using your Phantom. Now, if you guys are a little confused on that, I will be having a course down below that you guys can check out. And this will walk you through in detail basics of starting trading with meme coins. So now that you have Axiom Pro, you're gonna press on pulse and you're just gonna see the screen. Now there's a lot going on. There's coins bonding, there's coins over here, and there's also new pairs. Now let me tell you, when I say all of these coins are almost rugs, I mean it. I'd like to say 99% of these coins are rugs, but it's honestly probably more. As you guys can see, there's a coin coming out every single second. And when there's good volume, there's probably a coin coming out every 0.5 to 0.25 seconds. So what do these sections mean? Basically, these are new coins coming out all the time, and that's what new pairs is. These are coins people just released, so these are brand new. No one's seen them until they have just gotten released. And now we have final stretch. Now what are these coins? These are coins that are about to migrate over here. Now once they get enough liquidity and they actually can fill the liquidity pool, then they migrate. And basically the liquidity pool will be released. And this means that these coins will start to show up on apps like Dex Screener and all that. Now, like I said, 99% of these coins are scams. So let me show you how to actually filter out a few of these scams. So how do you change the filters? Real quick, you're just gonna come over to this little thing in the corner and press it. And this is where you change the filters. Now I'm gonna have you guys select and then unselect all of these and only select the top 3. Now you can select any of these other ones if you do know what they are, but for the most part, you're just gonna wanna trade these top 3 apps. This is basically because these are the most popular, so they have the highest chances of not being a scam. Now you're just gonna press apply all, and this is what you do for the rest of these. You're gonna come over to final stretch, unselect, select these 3, but now pay attention. We're gonna scroll down and we're gonna go to audit, and for minutes, I usually use 25 minutes. Now the reason is because you want to get into these coins early, especially since you're trading with a smaller portfolio. Now what is the reason you want to get in early? Think about it this way, the earlier you get in, the higher the risk, but also the higher the reward. So the fact that you're trading with a smaller portfolio means that you want to go for bigger multipliers. Now you're going to press on metrics and you're going to scroll down to market cap. I usually do 25K to 30K max. So for this example, I'll do 25K max. And as you can see, it absolutely just cleared all of those scams. And lastly, we're gonna go to migrated and do basically the exact same thing, only these top threes, except you don't have to press anything else. So like I said, you wanna catch early runners, and I'm gonna show you actually how to do that. Now, what you may think that you should do is be looking at new pairs. Now, obviously this is a very viable strategy, but this isn't the one that I use. I have used this strategy before in these videos where I live traded with 1 or 0.1 Solana, and it actually can work sometimes, but my main strategy is trading these final stretch coins. The reason is because these have proven that they have an interest and people have an interest in these coins. Now, what can this lead to? This can lead to these coins, migrating or sending. And a lot of the times you can actually snipe a very good entry, especially when you're trading with a smaller portfolio. Now, it's almost impossible to find these coins quick, but I actually just found this coin called Solid, and they had the first Solana transaction in space. So this narrative is pretty bullish, and I would still recommend entering this coin. They are actually planning to push it hella. Now, let me tell you, they're not just some randoms launching a coin on Pump Fund trying to make a quick buck. They're trying to make a full up project that's gonna last for years. This is why I'm super bullish, because the founders, Donnie and Benny, actually have been backing up this coin, and they have made some big moves in meme coins. They've been selling these little phone cases and are absolutely stacking some funding for this coin. Now, why is this cool? We've never seen a meme coin that has an actual product, and something like a phone case has never been done before. Now, phone cases, you can almost customize them in so many ways. The reason I'm so bullish is because they're gonna be putting 50% of profits made on these phone cases right back into the project. So first of all, they're making phone cases, advertising the project, and then they're gonna be using the profits on the phone cases and putting it into the project. And in the last 2 months since they launched their phone cases, they have sold 2,500 plus phone cases. That means they almost have $40,000 for funding on this project. Now, the last little secret tip I'm gonna give you is actually one of their team members told me that they plan to do something big in space again. They plan to launch tomorrow, Wednesday, at 3 p.m. using the UTC time zone. You guys are not gonna miss this, so look down below for some information. And they actually will have a pre-sale contract, which basically means that you're gonna be getting the cheapest coins and you barely have to put any money in. So all the links will be down below. Now remember, do your own research and only invest with what you're willing to lose. So let's get into what you wanna actually look for when you are trying to find a coin. Now, obviously the first thing is identifying if it's a scam right off the bat. Now, just from this little photo here, all these red symbol coins are a high likelihood that they are a scam. Now, not 100% of the times are they scams, because Axiom does glitch in this sometimes. But for example, if I come over here to this coin, I'm gonna tell you what you can actually look for in these coins to see if they are a scam. So for this example, this actually might be a good coin and a good example of how Axiom doesn't actually mean everything in token info. If I come over to holders, we can see that the top holders are actually, not connected at all. But Axiom says that the top holders are holding 25%, which is pretty normal for a meme coin, since you buy pretty big amount of percentage when it's this low in market cap. Now also, if you go to holders and you press on settings over here, you can turn off a few of these things. So we don't need to see SOL balance, we don't need to see P&L, and besides that, we want to see everything else. Basically, this is going to make it much easier for us to scroll over to the right and find the bubble map that's over here. Now, what does the bubble map show you? This is honestly one of the most important things for telling if it's a scam, if you're not able to use the holders and tell from here. Basically, you see these connected wallets. This means that one person holds all of these. And right here, it says cluster of 2.2%. So this guy holds a total of 2.2%, but he has it spread out in 4 different wallets. Now, on many occasions, there's gonna be bigger holders like these guys here who are connected, and maybe people holding up to 10%. Now, obviously this doesn't always show up on holders, so you still run the risk. But a cool feature that Axiom actually has is where the funding came from. And if you notice, this guy had funding from Binance. So the 2 top holders actually have funding from Binance, which tells me that maybe they're the same guy. And this means that he's holding around a total of 6%. So you run the risk of somebody holding 6%. Now you can also use this to your advantage for an entry. And like we could see, this is a good coin. It had a good dip, and you honestly probably should have entered around here if you did see this coin. Now, what is the second thing I look for? It's what is linked to the coin. Basically, we want to see what the narrative is, and usually the narrative is based off a tweet, website, or just news that's going on. And sometimes there's also based off of memes, but obviously this will still have some Twitters connected to them. So I'm just gonna press on this Twitter logo, and it's gonna pop up Twitter for us and show us exactly where this meme coin is kind of originating from. And you can assume whoever launched the coin is most likely the guy who is, you know, the owner of the community. So this is a really good sign of an amazing coin that you want to invest into. You can see that he has it all written out, so he's done a lot of the researching work. He has proof that the coin is real, so whatever it's about, in this narrative, it's about agents. And as you guys can see, he made a whole entire community, so they can actually link the community to the tweet. And we can clearly see he's made also custom art, so this is a really good coin. And a lot of the time when they put in effort like this, you can imagine the coin going to 20, 30K with ease. And then obviously if the coin is a pretty good narrative, then it can go much, much higher. So like we see, this coin is actually starting to reverse, which is a great sign. Now the third thing I look for is if the coin is an original coin. This is a really quick way to also make sure that you do not get scammed, because if someone is copying a coin, half the time it is going to go to zero. And you can do this by just copying the name and putting it up here. And if you see any other coins pop up that have the same exact art, well then it's most likely a scam. But as we can see, this is the original coin, and they also have this OG mode button. But honestly, I feel like this doesn't always work. So I'm just gonna stick to using this over here. Now another cool feature with this strategy is going and scrolling down, and they actually have similar tokens. So basically it's doing that, but the hard work for you right away. But once again, I think searching it by the token name is much better for actually seeing if there's any coins copying the idea. So now that you know how to actually see if the coin is a scam by looking at the holders and looking at the bundles and how that wallets were funded, you also know how to see if the coin is a good narrative based off the Twitter and the effort that the dev is actually putting in. And then also you know how to check if the coin is an original coin. Now one last thing is also you want to make sure that you look at holders. This is just a little extra tip that a lot of people don't tell you. But obviously if there's almost 200 holders and the market cap is below 20K, the coin is probably a scam and heavily bundled. You want a natural number, so 80 holders at 21K is very natural. And if the coin's at like 10K and has 80 holders, well, that's pretty unnatural. So we got all the analysis and how to actually spot good coins. Now let's go into the best trading fees if you have a small portfolio. So what you're gonna do, you're here and you're gonna scroll down to preset and go to buy settings. Now for slippage, it doesn't really matter. This won't affect you too much. But let's say you're trading with 0.1 Solana. This part is very important. You're gonna come over to priority and add one more zero in there. So it's gonna be 0.001. And then you're gonna go to auto fee, click this and press yes. And then you're gonna add in around 3 more zeros. And then you're gonna go to auto fee, press 0.001. So 2 zeros and then a 1. And you're just gonna have this set. Now basically what this is doing is that this is the highest fee that you will pay. Now you don't need MEV mode because you probably won't be getting MEVs if you're entering a 0.1 Solana. But as you start to build your portfolio and maybe build it up to 1 Solana, then obviously you want to start to use the MEV mode. So what does this exactly do? Basically, this is how Axiom is able to get lightning fast transactions. They use some amazing priority and bribe fees, and they actually have a great bot for that. And that's why the auto fee is very powerful, because you can enter these trades really quick, even if you aren't paying that much. Now you're gonna go over to sell settings right next to buy settings, and you're literally just gonna be entering the same thing. Now for slippage, it is automatically higher. And honestly, I would just leave this. The reason the slippage is higher for selling than buying is because when you're selling, the coin might be absolutely sending and you wanna make sure that you're getting your exit. But obviously when buying a coin, it doesn't matter as much because the volume will most likely be slower when you are first entering. Now just save all these presets by pressing preset again. And obviously it would just be there at all times. And if you want to make new presets and test out different settings, you have 2 other sections where you can actually do your own settings and see if they work better for you. But personally, this is what I used to use when I had a smaller portfolio. So what is one strategy? It's trading news. Now luckily, Axiom actually has an amazing built-in Twitter tracker. Now me personally, I used this when I had a smaller portfolio, but now that I have a bigger portfolio, I don't want to risk this as much. The reason is because you are almost always trading news when you're trading using a Twitter tracker. Now obviously if you have multiple monitors, I would really recommend using a Twitter tracker, but when you only have a laptop, it's pretty hard since it could take up almost half the screen. But for Twitter handles, you would want to add, people like Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Ansem, Orangey, just really big people in the meme coin crypto space. And the reason for this is if one of them tweet, let's say a dog, cat, or something like that, Well, you'll be literally the first person to see it because how quick the tweets pop up here, and everyone else is gonna be seeing it late on Twitter and coming over to buy the meme coin. But luckily you already see it and you sniped the coin. Now let's say a meme coin comes out of a dog that Trump posted. What you're actually gonna wanna do is make sure that you come over. I almost forgot to add this. You guys are gonna press display, and this is really important. Just press show research bar. Now let's say Trump tweets a dog and he also tweets the name. Let's say the dog's name is Donnie. Well, you can easily just search up Donnie here and it's gonna filter out all the coins that don't have this name. And right as you see a coin with this name, you're gonna be using this little handy button here. So we're gonna put 0.1 SOL in this example. And right as you see the coin pop up with the correct name, you're gonna press this, and what this does is it instantly snipes the coin with 0.1 Solana using your same settings that we set up. So you're gonna be getting filled instantly on the main runner on some really good news, you know, from Trump, Elon Musk, and you're just gonna be making some insane profits with that. Now remember, trading Twitter tweets is very risky, and these things pump and dump all the time. So do not take this as a viable way to trade. But a good tip to actually enter trades with more confidence is to track some wallets. Now, if you guys do want my wallet, comment that down below and I'll send you my wallet address so you guys could actually track me, see what I'm entering. And this could kind of help you get an idea of when I'm trading and what coins I actually trade. But the way that you add wallet addresses is you come over to wallet tracker down here, and then you're gonna come over to manager and you're gonna press add wallet, and you're literally just gonna add the wallet address. So for this example, I'll put one of my wallet addresses. So I put a wallet address in here, and then you can name it. So for this example, it's my wallet. I'll put payout. You can put any little emoji you want. It doesn't really matter. And then you can obviously, you know, change it, but I'm just gonna add the wallet and it should pop up over here now. Now, after it pops up, it's gonna have all these things highlighted. Now, basically, these all kind of show you different things, but this will make sure that the notification pops up on your screen and makes a noise. This will show me on the bubble map, and this will basically also show my trades and pop it up on your screen. So if you don't want noise, then you just turn this shit off and put none. A lot of the time I turn off the noise because it does get annoying. If you are tracking like 30 wallets and they're all trading, then you'll just be getting hit with a bunch of notification sounds. But tracking wallets is a really good way to get your confidence up when you're entering trades. Because a lot of the times if you see big wallets entering trades, then that means it is a very solid coin. Now, quick tip, if you do build your portfolio to, you know, 5-10 Solana, what you might want to do is go over to portfolio, wallets, and create a few wallets. Basically, they'll give you a bunch of these little addresses and you can send Solana to each one of these addresses. And what this will do is making sure that you don't own too much percentage on one wallet. And this is really good if you want to buy, you know, 6+% on a coin. So now that we have gone over every single thing, what is one thing that you want to look for in Axiom? It's actually the rewards. So this is basically where the benefit of using my code comes in. If you are trading really often, you're going to want to come here and actually claim your Solana. Now, I've made over 130 Solana just by using Axiom and getting my benefits back. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you are confused about anything else, well, then make sure you guys actually check out my course down below that I launched for beginners or expert traders, and this will walk you step by step, and then also you guys can ask me any questions you have. So make sure you guys check that out, and I hope you guys have a great day.